What is going on, guys? Christian from the Lay and Pray MMA podcast, joined as always by Trenton. Hey, buddy.
What's
going on?
Not much, just living life.
Living the dream.
Some could say.
Yeah. We're Jeffrey less this episode. He's got other stuff going on right now. Obviously, it's been a little while since we've done an episode, just because right now we're all on. I really think it's just bad timing for all of us with trying to get a good schedule going.
I think it's been hard with everybody. I mean, I got a brand new set of twins that are 4 months old. Jeffrey's got a 4.5, 5 month old baby as well.
And you're back to work.
He moved across the state or whatever, or country or whatever the hell, and everybody's just trying to get their life situated before we can have a consistent schedule going.
For sure.
You're newly engaged, and
I'm kidding less. So
but
I'm like the least busy out of everybody. So so like I said, just whenever we can get episodes out, we'll get episodes out. Right now, obviously there's been news since the last time that we did an episode. There's been a couple fight cards, specifically the Thiago Santos and Johnny Walker card, which I think in that fight card, I think I got all my picks right. I think I picked Misha Serkinov to beat Jotko. That I got that one wrong. And then obviously we had the Mackenzie Dern and Marina Rodriguez fight, and Marina Rodriguez won that fight. Other than that, I mean, there wasn't really anything that stuck out. And then Aspen Ladd was supposed to fight on that card, and she missed weight, and now she's going to be fighting on this upcoming card this weekend
as the main event.
So, just I guess the way that the MMA world works right now. Other than that, like I said, there's been quite a bit of news. We'll get into that here later, but for now, I guess the best thing to do is we'll just do quick predictions on the Ladd versus Dumont main card.
Okay.
And then get into some news and talk about that. So kicking off the main card in the middleweight division, Julian Marquez versus Jordan Wright. Jordan Wright was his nickname, I think, is the Beverly Hills Ninja.
Yeah.
So it's like one of my favorite Chris Farley movies ever. So It's awesome. Julian Marquez is a stud, but I think Jordan Wright, obviously he had the one loss to Joaquin Buckley. And other than that, he's looked pretty phenomenal in terms of his time in the UFC. Julian Marquez, I mean, both guys, 30, 31 years old. Julian Marquez is coming off of a submission or 2 submission wins against Maki Pitolo and Sam Alvey. So, I mean, Smiling Sam Alvey is a fighter's, or a fan favorite, but still, he's not like an elite.
I think he's on a 5 or 6 fight losing streak right now.
I think he's 0-6-1 in his last 7 fights, and he is getting one more fight in the UFC in February. And Patrick Cote voiced his displeasure with the fact that there's a bunch of people that are getting cut left and right, and Sam Alvey's a guy who hasn't won a fight in 3 years and is still on the roster.
Yeah.
So I think in this fight, Jordan Wright, he strikes me as the better all-around fighter. If it goes to the ground, Julian Marquez should. I think he'll be dominant on the ground because that's his game. But if Jordan Wright can keep it on the feet, I would assume that he can control this fight. So I'm going to go with Jordan Wright in this one. And I just think he's a more exciting fighter. So I'm going to go with Jordan Wright.
This one's a weird one for me because I kind of agree with you. But for some reason, I feel like Julian Marquez is going to pull this one off.
Okay.
I feel like he's got kind of, I wouldn't say hype, but he's got I don't know. He's got like
Isn't he the guy that
attention on him? He's the one that called out Miley Cyrus.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think they went on a date. Like, but they were like, no, we're just gonna be friends or something.
I don't think they did because he said something about like the next time. I don't know. He did something.
I can't remember. Yeah.
It was weird. Like he said something and then she acknowledged him.
Yeah.
And then he tweeted back something.
She
about
said if
like
you if you shave MC in your chest or some shit, like I can't remember.
It was fucking something weird.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think he blew his shot, but but it looked good for him for a minute there though. I think like he's got more attention on him, and I think maybe that's why I want to go with him because I've seen Jordan Wright fight a couple times and his stand-up is good. But I don't
remember a time I've seen him go to the ground. That's
what concerns me here.
Yeah.
Because if Julian can get him down, he might be nobody really is these days, but a fish out of water in the UFC. You know what I mean? Like if he goes to the ground, maybe I don't know. I feel like Julian Marquez is going to pull this one off. I think just because I've seen him more times and I've kind of followed his career closer.
Okay.
That I just have more faith in him. I believe. I mean, it may be a bad choice to go off of or a bad reason to choose him, but I just, that's all I'm working with right now. So,
yeah. All right. Next up in the women's flyweight division, Manon Fiorot versus Mayra Buena Silva. Manon Fiorot is putting women away left and right. She's got round 2 TKOs or knockouts, while Buena Silva has gotten, I think, 2 finishes in a row. No, sorry. She had a draw with Montana De La Rosa, a submission win, and then she had a decision loss. Okay. So in her last 3, she's 1-1-1. I just think Manon is the more dangerous striker. I feel like she's more dangerous all around. And obviously the fights start standing. So I'm going to have to go with Manon in this fight. I don't know either of these women, to be completely honest, but I like seeing TKOs and KOs on your record if you're female. It definitely looks good. It definitely helps boost you.
It means you got some kind of finishing power, you know what I mean? Like, or at least
good
some
combination.
Tenacity. Yeah.
And it seems like she's going for the finish. So I'm going to go with her in this one. And she's gotten 2 second round TKOs, and I'm going to go with another second round TKO or KO.
I'm going to agree with you on this one. I think Manon's going to win as well. I don't know that I've seen a Silva fight. I don't remember seeing it, to be honest with you, but I have seen Manon fight, and her physique is intense too. So I think she's going to come in shape and make a statement here and try to crack into the top. I don't know what she is, but top 15, top 10, or something like that. Probably top 10, 15. Try to crack into it at least.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing is I just like that we're seeing exciting female fights. Like, I mean, the Mackenzie Dern fight last week, that was a good, the Dern and Rodriguez fight was fun.
I like how this fight is actually, they have like basically the same record besides a no contest. It looks like
the one or
draw.
Was it a draw or
it's
no
a draw?
contest?
It's a draw.
Okay.
It's a draw.
Okay. I couldn't remember if it was a draw or no.
Besides
contest.
the one draw, they're both 7-1. So
yeah,
I mean this should be a good fight.
Yeah, I mean, and the best way to look at it is besides the main event, you've got another girls fight that's on the main card.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a TKO finish here, I can't imagine you wouldn't be in top 15. You get 3 TKO finishes in a row.
And the way that the flyweight division is right now, they need somebody to be there besides Valentina. Yeah. Like they need another girl that's exciting. Because I mean, look what she did to Lauren Murphy in the last fight. Look what she did to Jessica Andrade in the fight before that.
How old is Manon?
31.
31.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. So it should be interesting.
I mean, I don't know when females prime are, but I mean, 31's like, I mean,
that's like a male's prime.
Men can reach their prime at 31. Some of them reach it a little earlier, but
yeah,
about 31 years old is when the men hit their
prime. Michael Bisping or Glover Teixeira.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, fuck. 30,
I guess everybody is different, but
yeah. I guess it's right timing. Next up in the lightweight division, obviously a lightweight staple, has been for years and years and years, Jim Miller versus Eric Gonzalez. I think this is Eric Gonzalez, his UFC debut.
Yes.
And I read something where he basically was saying that he was thinking that he was going to get Donald Cerrone in the fight, but instead it's another long time lightweight in Jim Miller, which I'll be honest, I think that I would have rather fought Donald Cerrone than Jim Miller, because Donald Cerrone, that he's either going to be hit or miss. So, but Jim Miller, he's not fighting his greatest right now, but he still has some finishes like within his last few fights.
Yeah, with Jim Miller at this point right now, it's and Cowboy is like, Cowboy is, I mean, they're both on the tail end of their career, but Jim Miller still brings it.
Oh, big
like
time.
He's still on fire. Cowboy might come out and look flat and just not be there for the fight. You know what I mean? Like Cowboy, it's weird to predict what's going to come from him at this point in his career. But Jim Miller, he's still going to come forward and still put the pressure on. He just might not be able to. Yeah, he just might not be able to pull it off these days or whatever. But he's still trying. You know what I mean? Cowboy, sometimes I know Cowboy's trying too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but it's different.
It's a different pace. Like Cowboy's going to stand there and try to pick you apart slowly and do all this stuff, and Jim Miller's going to bring the fight to you and still try to beat you up like that.
Yeah.
I feel like this point in Cowboy's career, he's more of a counter striker these days, or tries to be.
Yeah, I think it takes him too long to get going.
He starts super slow. Yeah,
it's like, dude, holy shit, let's go. Like, yeah.
I think his. I mean, not to turn this into a bashing Cowboy podcast right now, but I think his hands have slowed considerably, and the power in his hands aren't there anymore. Like
I think the power in general, his kicks, his combinations, his
speed, and his coordination looks off these days. Everything seems a little off. That's age, man.
I think that, and I think also the fact that his only motivation to fight now is the paycheck, because he'll never get another title shot, and he'll never even sniff like close to a title shot.
Well, he knows he's got one foot out the door. I'm sure he's considered retirement probably the last 3 fights of his career. You know what I mean? And then he just comes back and does his thing, and you're like, all right, are you just collecting checks now because you have a decent contract and you just want to play that out? Or like,
and he's going for those fight of the night bonuses.
Yeah.
In this fight, though, I honestly think that Jim Miller, because it's the guy's either gonna have a fantastic debut and he's gonna put Jim Miller away, or he's gonna have that oh shit moment where he's like, I've made it to the UFC. But making it to the UFC and actually being a solidified, I'm here, like, there's a big difference. Making it to the dance and actually doing the dance are completely different things. So I think I'm going to go with Jim Miller in this one. I don't know if it's an upset, because he's the gatekeeper right now.
Yeah.
But I don't see why Jim Miller can't be that person to be like, all right, welcome to the UFC, and put him away with a submission or something.
I still think he's a tough fight for a lot of people.
I do too, because he's no quit.
Yeah.
So,
but with that being said, I don't know who Eric Gonzalez is. I don't know how good he is. I've never seen him fight. So it's hard for me to pick him when I've seen so many Jim Miller fights. And I hope I hope that Jim Miller wins this one, and I hope that he comes in shape, because I think the last time I saw him, he didn't look good physically. Like his body looked like he was soft in the midsection, and it looked weird. And I'm not used to seeing Jim Miller like that. And I don't know if that's age or if he had a bad camp and an injury or what that was, but his physique just looked off to me. I want Jim Miller to win this, and I think he should win this.
Yeah.
Unless Eric Gonzalez is some like standout superstar that I didn't, I've never heard of before, which is highly possible because, I'm not watching too many fights outside or the come ups of these fighters. So, I mean, he might come out here and completely put Jim Miller away and outclass him. And that'd be a nice feather in his cap because Jim Miller is a good name still. But I think Jim Miller should and has the tools to win this fight, especially if it goes to the ground and he wraps him up with like a rear naked choke or a guillotine.
I'm thinking a guillotine, honestly, because Jim Miller just has one of the best guillotines. Yeah. I mean, look what he did to Clay Guida. I mean, there's another name that's, at one point, one of the best lightweights in the world. And he rocked Clay Guida. This was 2 years ago, but still he caught him on the feet standing. He outstruck him, rocked him, and then put him to sleep. So
Jim Miller's another guy that reminds me of like the Damage. What's his name?
Darren Elkins.
Yeah. I feel like they're just dogs, dude. Like
you got ass kicked and then
you got to put him away. You got to put him away, or he's still gonna try to take your head off and win. Yeah. If you don't finish him, you're in a dog fight. It's a problem, no matter what. So. For sure. So I just have faith in Jim Miller. I think he should win this.
Yeah.
Hopefully he wins this, and then he can either he looks great and he's in great shape, and
I want him to ride off in the sunset.
That's what I'm hoping though. Either that or this is his swan song and he calls it a day and go out on a win, baby. It's a great career for you.
All right. Co-main. We got Carlos Felipe versus Andre Arlovski. I don't even know, dude. I'm like, I think the reason why I'm really unsure is because both guys have won 3 of their last 4, and the biggest factor in this fight is their age difference. I mean, their reach, they're about the same weight, they're almost the same height. Andre's got a 2-inch reach or a 2-inch reach advantage and 2 inches in height. Andre's 6'2", 70 and 240 pounds, 77-inch reach. And the only loss that Andre really has is he got submitted by Tom Aspinall. And right now I have Tom Aspinall. He's in my top 7, top 8 in heavyweights right now. And I would think that his toughest test coming up will be the guys in the top 2, Gon and Ngannou. But I honestly think he would put work on Stipe because he's just younger and a quicker fighter. He's like a middleweight in a heavyweight's body.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm kind of having a hard time because I feel like Andre, like I really don't ever pick Andre to win, but it's hard to not pick him when he's looked pretty damn good over his last 4 fights besides getting submitted. Dude, this is a hard one. Like what? I'm gonna choose with my head here, and I'm gonna choose Carlos Felipe.
Okay.
But I always love Andre Arlovski. He's the first guy that I ever watched fight in the UFC. Back when he had a fucking man bun.
Yeah.
The fang mouthpiece, and he was wearing the short black shorts with the
back when he was the real Andre Arlovski, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Carlos Felipe in this fight.
Okay. I think you have made the smart choice. I am gonna go with Andre Arlovski in this one.
Okay.
I have this weird thing when it comes to Andrei Arlovski. I never pick him either.
Yeah.
But somehow when he fights people, they're afraid to throw at him. And I feel like he's got a glass chin these days, but people just don't throw. Like they're shocked that they're fighting Andrei Arlovski or something. I don't understand what it is, but I feel like Carlos has the knockout power to put him away. My concern is the cardio, and I know it's only a 3-round fight, but these guys are heavyweights, and Andrei Arlovski I know has got the cardio to go the 3 rounds. I wonder if he could stay away from the power for that long.
My thing is, I don't even think Carlos has the knockout power. He doesn't even have a fucking knockout in the UFC.
Well, I'm just saying they're heavyweights, and all he's got to do is land on Andre.
Yeah. Well, like, I think the biggest thing is that he's a volume. Fuck, dude. I don't even know. I'm torn.
I'm gonna go with Andre. He's got the experience. He's got way more fights. If this goes to a close, like, point fighting fight, Andre should win this. If it goes to decision, I don't see how Andre loses. Yeah, and that's what I'm banking on, is that this fight goes to decision. But I mean, like I said, heavyweights, man, anything can happen. Andre's old as shit, and I mean, he's had a long career behind him, dude.
Andre's what, 40 something
fights?
42. Yeah, fuck me. No, he's got 53 fights. He's got 2 contests.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. Like, that's a lot of fights, dude, at heavyweight and shit like that. And some crazy knockouts where he was straight sleeping.
His is like trying to do a fucking jumping knee and getting knocked out by Fedor.
When he didn't get knocked out, but when Anthony Rumble Johnson broke his jaw.
Yeah, that was bad. Yeah, that was in PFL. Yeah. I guess World Series of Fighting, which is now PFL. But yeah, okay. My thing is, I just don't like. I never pick Andrei Arlovski to win because I'm not expecting him to win. I really am not.
So that's the same with me. I don't ever really expect him. I actually expect him to lose. And it's weird because I'm a fan, but I feel like I've watched him for so long that I'm just ready for another spectacular loss, like a spectacular KO loss where he's flatlined. Like, I feel like I've watched him for too long to still be doing this.
I know.
And it's kind of like how I felt with Overeem. You know, like, every time he fights, I'm like, dude, I love Overeem, don't get me wrong, but I just have this feeling that he's gonna lose again. Like, you know,
I like Overeem. I don't like Overeem. I like Overeem. Well, where you stood on the scale and you're like, that is a Greek god.
That is not even human.
That's pre-USADA.
Yeah.
All right. And then the women's featherweight main event. Aspen Ladd versus Norma Dumont. Obviously, Aspen Ladd was in the bantamweight division, but she struggled with making weight. So now she's fighting at featherweight. I think she was ranked like number 3 at bantamweight before moving up. And Norma Dumont, I mean, her only loss right now is to Megan Anderson. She got knocked out, TKO'd. And then Aspen Ladd, her only loss was to Jermaine Durandame, which was a KO or TKO. In this one, I am gonna go with Aspen Ladd in this fight, and it's strictly because you look at who Aspen Ladd has fought in terms of like her in the UFC. She fought Yana Kunitskaya, who's, I mean, that's a big name in the division, and she KO'd and TKO'd her. Lost her Jermaine Durandame, and then beat Sierra Eubanks. And then Norma Dumont, her biggest win is against Felicia Spencer. And Felicia Spencer, I know Felicia fought Amanda Nunes, and she went the full 5 with Amanda. So she's one of the few women that withstood the test of time against Amanda Nunes. But I just feel like I don't really feel like, I don't know how to put this without sounding like it sounds stupid. Jermaine Durandame was a champion.
Yeah.
She never lost. She just refused to fight Cyborg, so she got stripped. She is still arguably one of the best strikers in the UFC for women, and Megan Anderson is not. So you're getting knocked out by Megan Anderson. That's kind of an issue. You know, anybody can get knocked out by anybody, and I get that. But
the skill levels there are way different. Yeah. Losing to Jermaine is
better.
One thing.
Is better than losing to Megan. Yes. I think, even though Megan Anderson just fought Amanda.
In my eyes, you lost to the champ.
Yeah,
and you know, in this one, I mean, Megan Anderson was a champ in something else, wasn't she, before she came to UFC?
Victor or something, maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember. I thought she was the champ or had just.
She just fought
lost
Amanda Nunes. She just fought Amanda Nunes.
Yeah,
for the title and lost.
I know that, but
and like a reverse triangle or like a some weird triangle submission. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Aspen Ladd in this fight. I think she will be faster. I don't think she'll be stronger, but I feel like she'll be faster. And I feel like the fact that she's not having to cut and, you know, can consistently drain her body, I feel like it's going to be helpful, that 10 additional pounds. So I'm going to go with Aspen Ladd in this fight, and, you know, she'll just start moving her way up the ranks. The big issue that she's going to run into is that obviously some of the girls in the featherweight division are bigger, like taller fighters. Yeah. So that's going to be something she doesn't have to worry about that in this fight. Dumont's only 5'6", Aspen Ladd's 5'5", but I'm pretty sure Megan Anderson's like 5'9" or 5'10".
Yeah, she's a bigger girl.
She's tall. Yeah. So yeah, that's just one of those things that she's gonna have to adjust to, and obviously she can adjust like all fighters do to. Megan Anderson's 6 feet tall, so there you go.
Yeah,
that's a pretty tall 145er.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, get up close and personal, dirty boxing and takedowns, I guess, is going to be your best friend. So I'm going to go with Aspen.
I'm going to go with Aspen Ladd as well. One reason is because I don't think I've seen Norma Dumont fight.
Mm-hmm.
And if I did, I didn't remember it. But I have seen Aspen Ladd fight numerous times, and, you know, some of those were TKOs. So I have confidence in her. I think she has the higher ceiling too. I think like her she has potential, you know what I mean? Like, I think she got shotgunned into that Jermaine Durandamy fight way too early.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was just because she had so much hype on her or whatever the deal was.
She was coming off the Contender Series, right? Did she do the Contender Series?
Yeah, I think she did. Yeah. And I just don't think it was the right move yet. Like, I think someone put a rocket to her ass and sent her to the
That's kind of like what they did with Sean O'Malley too.
I don't think it should have happened. You know what I mean? Like, I think it was too quick. And I think now that she has time to improve, and then her ceiling is higher, I think the only thing that concerns she just pulled out of their last fight because of weight cut issues. Was that at 135 or 145?
135.
Okay, so this fight she's
they wouldn't have.
They
wouldn't have rescheduled her to fight at 130 or 145 if she missed weight for 145. So they moved her up to featherweight.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know she missed the 135 thing, and then they were just like, hey, or I didn't know if maybe the last fight was 145 as well, but they were like, hey, we got to postpone it because they didn't stop it because she missed weight. They stopped it because she was shaking and shit on the scale. bleeding and shit, you know.
Well, and also Miesha Tate came out and was like, "You're trying to cheat the scale. You're trying to manipulate the scale. That's the reason why you were shaking. It had nothing to do with your weight cut. It had everything to do with you're trying to cheat the scale." And that's Miesha Tate. I'm not.
Yeah, but
so I don't know how much of that is actual.
That's a fight I'd like to watch.
I'd love to watch Aspen Ladd versus Miesha Tate.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I was like, I'd love to watch that one.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably good for their at points in their career right now. But
well, I mean, if Miesha wants to make a comeback and actually be, she thinks she can beat. She thinks she's the person that can beat Amanda Nunes, and it's like, I don't think so.
I mean, old Miesha, I still don't think so. But like the Miesha that I saw in her comeback fight, I unless she gets more time and more comfortable, I would say no way. But
yeah,
but I mean, fucking crazier shit's happened. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I got Aspen Ladd in this one as well. I just think she has a higher ceiling and has the potential to be a star for the females. But I think she hopefully she's improved, and she needs to get her weight in check. Like, straight up. I mean, I don't want to take away the whole period, starting her period during a weight cut thing. Like, I mean, I'm not a female. I don't know shit about that. I'm sure it fucking sucks in the middle of a weight cut. You know,
I'm sure it's hard as fuck.
Yeah. But if that is really what affected it and that's what fucked it up, then I hope she goes back down to 135 for her next one and can do it healthy and easily. You know what I mean? Because I think that's where she belongs. Honestly, I don't think she should be fighting at 145. I think these women are too big. They're too fucking powerful. And I think, like, I don't know Norma Dumont. I haven't seen her fight, but hopefully she's not this.
I watched her get knocked the fuck out by.
Yeah. I'm just hopefully she's not this powerhouse that's gonna steamroll her at 145 and then totally ruin her fucking confidence, because now she'll get fucking steamrolled again. You know what I mean? Because that fight against Jermaine Durandamy wasn't even fucking close.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think that was way too early for her to be there.
I agree.
And I don't think that, but who knows?
I agree. I guess everything's gonna my thoughts on how she, like, whether she should stay at 145 or 135 will depend on her fight on Saturday. That's my thoughts on it. It's like I don't want to shit on her. I don't want to shit on her while everybody else is shitting on her.
Yeah, you don't want to kick her while she's down.
Yeah, it's like, the poor girl has already faced enough scrutiny and shit. Yeah. So, but I guess it's all gonna just depend on Saturday and how she looks.
Yeah, I just think those women are too big, too fucking strong at 145, man. Like, even put it this way, like, if let's say she fought Amanda Nunes, like, she has a better chance at 135 than 145 Amanda Nunes.
Yeah.
You're gonna let her keep the weight on? Fuck that noise. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's true.
Hell no. I'd rather try to fight for that 135-pound belt than 145-pound belt. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give Amanda Nunes the fucking ability to keep on 10 more pounds and then try to fight her. That's a little bit more power and weight behind those punches.
I'd rather fight her while she's drained.
Yeah, at least to try to deplete her a little before we fuck around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess another thing that's going on this weekend is the I don't know if you've seen the Bellator card.
I haven't seen the card, but I think I saw that we have Corey Anderson and
versus Ryan Bader.
And Bader. I saw them facing off, or a picture of them facing off or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting situation.
And then Nemkov, who's the light heavyweight champion, he beat Ryan Bader for the title.
Okay.
He's in the other semifinal fight.
Okay.
Against Julius Anglicus. I watched the Nemkov fight. He trains with Fedor. He's on Fedor's team. But dude's a beast. I mean, he TKO'd Vader. He's a stud. And then another really fun fight is going to be Benson Henderson versus Brent Primus.
Benson Henderson's still going at it, huh?
Yeah. Brent Primus is good too.
I don't think I know who that is. Maybe if I saw him.
Yeah, he's good.
What do you think about Corey Anderson and Vader? Like,
that's the fight that I'm most intrigued in, only because I feel like Ryan Bader is. I feel like Corey Anderson's the better technical wrestler. I feel like Ryan Bader is the better mixed martial arts wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Ryan Bader's just more explosive. I mean, the dude he literally dropped Fedor with like a short left. It was like a looping left hook.
Yeah.
It wasn't even his strong hand. And he knocked it. Like, that's what dropped him. And then he put him away.
The motherfucker's been at heavyweight. Like, I mean, he's throwing around clubs at this point.
Yeah.
His hands are fucking clubs.
Yeah. But
he's a big boy at that point.
I think Ryan Bader should win this fight.
I agree with you. I think he's the bigger, more powerful wrestler. And I think his striking is better.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not better, it's got way more power.
Corey Anderson, he
has every chance to win this.
All he's looking to do is push you up against the fence, take you down, and either do ground and pound or work his way to some sort of a submission.
Or tire you out against the cage as long as he can.
Yeah.
You know?
Like Kamaru Usman versus fucking Tyron Woodley.
And is this Bader's first fight back at light heavy or?
Maybe he had a bye in the first round of the. Let me look real quick.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking, like, where's Corey Anderson's head at right here? Is his plan maybe to just push him up against the cage and try to tire him out because maybe he still has heavyweight cardio? You know what I mean? Like, let's try to.
No, he fought Lyoto Machida.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, I did watch that one.
Yeah, he fought Lyoto Machida and beat him by unanimous decision.
Yeah,
and then
that was a good fight.
And then in his fight against Nemkov, he got TKO'd. He fought Czech Congo
because that was the rematch between him and Lyoto, right?
Yeah, I think he lost in UFC to Lyoto.
Yeah, he got knocked out in the first, or I don't know if it was the first, but in the first fight he got knocked out.
It was the second round, but he got knocked out.
Yeah.
What's the other one? I still have the hardest time believing that he lost to Tito by guillotine.
I knew you were gonna bring that one up. That was the last time Tito
got a win.
Like, and it was fucking shocking too.
I know.
Like he was even shocked. He got that guillotine. But you couldn't believe it.
And then his fight before the Nemkov fight was against Czech Congo. He retained the heavyweight title. It was due to an accidental eye poke.
And then speaking of Tito, I have this weird question. I mean, this is way off subject, I guess, but do you remember Rashad Evans versus Tito?
No. Honestly, okay. I don't remember that fight.
Rashad came in fucking impeccable shape. Mm-hmm. Like, I'd never seen Rashad look so good in my life. And he absolutely beat the piss out of him.
Uh-huh.
And I just remember thinking, like, yo, this Rashad might fuck up everybody. And then I never saw him good again. And I don't know if it was because Tito was that terrible. Yeah. Or if Rashad was really in like the fucking best shape of his life. Like, because he looked insane. He had a 6-pack, like fucking looked insane in shape, like really good. And he beat the fucking piss out of him. And I was like, oh, dude, this Rashad's going to be.
So was that when Rashad was trying to work his way back to a title?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So it must have been not long after he got knocked the fuck out by Lyoto.
Yeah, and then I was like, I don't think I ever saw Rashad look the same after that, but he looked impeccable for that fight. It might have just been that Tito was that fucking bad. I mean, Tito honestly, he was probably that fucking bad because I watched the Anderson Silva fight with him in boxing, and he was fucking terrible.
Threw 3 jabs in a row. It's like, who the fuck throws 3 jabs in a row, dude?
I had never seen worse stand up in my life.
like, what the fuck? All right. I guess some talking points that we were going to use for our last show that we ended up not doing because Jeffrey no-showed on me.
It happens.
Yeah, you were sick. That was another thing. You were sick.
I lost my voice and everything. I couldn't fucking. My whole house was sick.
You were sick. The wife was sick. The kids were sick. It's like, fuck.
Brixton got it first, and then my wife got it, and then Banks got it, and then Brody's the only one that didn't get it that I think.
Brody's a fucking beast, buddy.
And then I got it, and then I was like dying for like 3 days. And I lost my voice for 3 days, and I could barely fucking talk. Like when I played games with you, that was my voice was coming back that day. Finally,
you're like,
it was like I hit puberty again and shit.
Hi guys.
I was like, I don't want to do a podcast like this, or you guys are gonna fucking roast me.
Oh, you and people would be like, I don't even know what the fuck he's saying.
Yeah.
All right. So the Francis Ngannou versus Cyril Gane and then Adesanya versus Whitaker 2 is scheduled to happen at UFC 270. I think that's either in January or February. So that is going to be one to pay attention to, just because those are two absolute bangers.
I think they added another fight to that card recently too. Keep talking.
Was it Brandon Moreno and Figueiredo? Was that one of the other ones?
I'm trying to look.
That was the other one. Brandon Moreno and Figueiredo.
And then Dustin Poirier and Charles Oliveira is UFC 269
in December. Mm-hmm. That was another talking point. And then obviously one of the things that happened since the last time that we talked was obviously Aljamain fell out of his fight with Peter Yan, but Corey Sandhagen is stepping up, and honestly, I'm happy for Corey Sandhagen because, based on a lot of people's opinions, they thought that he won that fight with TJ, and then obviously Yan should have never lost his belt to Aljamain.
Yeah.
Obviously he did because he hit him with an illegal knee, and we know what Aljamain did. We don't need to discuss it. So it's like, really, for some people, it's like the number one contender versus the champion, no matter what. That's
my thoughts, but
yeah, mine. I thought TJ won the fight, but obviously,
I think it's fair either way.
Like if TJ could have fought, and because he had surgery, like if he didn't have surgery, I feel like he would have been like, absolutely, I'll do that.
Yeah.
So no matter what, kudos to Corey for stepping in on short notice, on like 30 days notice, because that fight, that's in a couple weeks. So
Corey Sandhagen doesn't strike me as the guy that gets out of shape in between fights, though.
No,
you know what I mean? I feel like this motherfucker has been ready. He's been waiting for the shot.
My thoughts though are that I think Peter Yan is just superior. Like he's just so good. He's so good. He made Aljamain Sterling look mediocre, and Aljamain looked fantastic against Corey Sandhagen.
I think Corey Sandhagen's improved a shit ton, though.
Oh, absolutely. And
I think that fight with TJ is only going to make him fucking hungrier and better, I think, too.
But also, say he wins the fight against Peter Yan. The first fight you do is TJ, and obviously Aljamain's going to get that shot.
Well, that's the problem. This is for a fucking interim belt,
Yeah, it's stupid.
Like, at this point, you got to strip the dude. He hadn't fought in a fucking year. You know what I mean? Like 9 months or whatever the hell it's been. Like, you got to. And not only that is he's not fought in 9 months, but he won off of a DQ. Like, bro, strip that shit and make this for the fucking real belt.
Well, the thing is this is the way I look at it. No matter what, say Corey wins, he gets redemption against Aljamain. Yeah. Say Peter wins, he gets redemption against Aljamain. So either way, it's good for business. And then obviously you've got
TJ sitting in the fucking
you got
works
TJ
waiting
who
to
can
get healed up.
Do his rehab and then come back. So yeah. So
it concerns me for TJ. I mean, obviously he came back really good after this layoff. Mm-hmm. But like at this layoff, one fight and then a fucking surgery and recovery.
But the thing is that
damn, bro.
I think his was LCL and tear, which is like one of the better ones to have if you have a knee tear. It's not an ACL or an MCL, it's an LCL, so it's or PCL, one of the two. I can't remember. But either way, it's a quicker recovery and it's not as hard of a rehab. So I think he'll be all right. On the fight card as well, Islam Makhachev was supposed to fight Rafael dos Anjos. Obviously, that fell out. And now it's Islam versus Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker coming off of his fight with Nasrat Haqparast just a couple weeks ago at the last pay-per-view. And Dan was saying, like, not long, like just a couple days after, he's like, yeah, there's really no incentive for me to fight Islam because we're only like one apart. And he was like, and it would just completely fuck up like all my travel with my family. I like wouldn't see my family till after the new year because of it. And obviously the UFC was willing to work with him. It sounds
what happens when the UFC backs up a truckload of cash.
Yeah. And also they probably were like, here's the deal. This is what we'll do. And
you win this shit and you're fighting for a title
even then
your future or whatever.
Lose it and you have a fuckload of money.
Yeah.
And it sounds like everybody from City Kickboxing is trying to up and get the fuck out of New Zealand and Australia and go to the States. So, you know, that'll definitely help with the move. So I hope it works out for him. And I don't see him. Islam's he's the next Khabib.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was not a huge Dan Hooker fan before that.
Same.
Not that I mean, I like his fights, don't get me wrong. It's just like I never really clicked with him. I didn't really have like a personality click with him or any reason to really root for him or anything like that. I do now.
Yeah.
Same. I hope he wins this fucking fight.
I hope he does, only because the style of I really hate the Dagestani style. Wrestle fuck you, like literally wrestle fuck you into oblivion.
It's that lay and pray, baby. It's an ironic name.
That's that hashtag lay and pray. Yeah. But the thing is
the only one I didn't really hate like that was Khabib because it didn't feel like that because he was smashing motherfuckers.
Yeah, he would smash his ground and pound.
Yeah.
But that's
when you're just a wet blanket, it's not
it's not fun to watch. Yeah. But if Islam, like his fight with Thiago Moises, there was like, this guy's like ranked fucking 11th or 12th. Like, you're supposed to blow this guy out of the water. So when he was putting a hurting on him, I was like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. The guy's fucking 7 below you. That was kind of like when Dan Hooker fought Nasrat. I was like, you know, you should have dominated him because you guys are separated by a lot in the rankings. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see if it stays standing, then he'll be golden because Islam isn't like, you know, he's not Mike Chandler.
Yeah. I'm hoping right now that Dan Hooker is going to be in the best shape of his fucking life because he just got a fight and it was a good fight.
And he doesn't have to worry about getting arrested for training because he's in the United States.
And, you know, like if you don't get out of shape, not even a fucking, I mean, because he probably started that shit right off the bat. Like, let's go. I'm gonna rest for a week because that was a fight. And then let's get back into the gym and fucking do our thing.
The thing that sucks is that
you only got fucking back at it.
I don't even think he took a week off.
Maybe not. Yeah.
Honestly, I think that because when you look at it, you have to fly over there like the week of the fight.
Yeah.
So he only has like probably 2.5 weeks of preparation before you have to fly over there, get adjusted, do your quarantine, and all the other shit that goes with it because it's in the UAE. It's in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's true. I didn't think about it being in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
You want to get there at least a week fucking before the fight, in my opinion.
Well, it's all based on the UFC because it's all on Fight Island. It's what the UFC allows and doesn't allow.
Well, I'm sure they got a fucking facility right next to the fucking arena there. You know what I mean?
I mean, they built that whole thing.
What's it called? Like an Apex Center there. You know what I mean, or whatever.
Well, that's what Fight Island is. It's it's built for the fighters.
Yeah. So I'm sure there's a badass fucking training facility and gym and shit that like just be like, hey, you know what? You can't fucking train in New Zealand. You're gonna take this fight early. Come on over here as fast as you fucking can. Let's get you here 3 weeks or 2 weeks in advance and just start fucking training. You know?
Yeah.
Get it acclimated to the weather and shit there because I'm sure it's not fun.
Yeah, pretty much. It's gonna be hot as balls.
Yeah, but it's not.
Well, they always
buggy, not a good time.
Yeah, I don't even know, dude. I am so grateful that Dan took this fight, but I don't think the outcome is gonna be good for him because he does.
I think odds are he loses, but
he does really good against other strikers. His fight
he's a big guy though too. It might be hard to take him down. And take him down and keep him down. I don't know. Like it depends on how good of a wrestler he really fucking is. You know, like
we're gonna find out. Looked really fucking good against Nasrat, but it's not like him. We were like, hey, you know, you from Dagestan, bro?
Yeah, it's a little different here.
Yeah. All right.
I want good things to people that take big risks. That's what I agree.
That's what I want too.
You saved it and you put on a fight for the fans that's exciting.
Yeah.
You know, and like you kept it exciting. And this is more exciting because you took that risk. And now I'm a fan and I want you to fucking succeed, you know?
Dude, that's fucking bullshit. I don't even get to watch that fight card.
Well, what time's it air at like fucking
10 a.m. 6:30 is when the fucking 6:30 in the morning. I gotta work. I'm not even gonna be able to watch that fight card. That's a bummer because there's some good fights on that fight card. Alexander Volkov versus Marcin Tybura, Li Jingliang versus Khamzat Chimaev, Magomed Ankilov versus Volkan Ozdemir. That's the main card. Jan Blachowicz versus Glover Teixeira, Peter Yan, Corey Sandhagen. That's a good fight card. It's too bad I won't be able to watch it. And that's 2 weeks from Saturday.
Man, we can't watch them all.
I know, but it sucks because I would definitely wake up early and watch those fights.
Yeah.
I guess one thing to get into, obviously, next week is the Paulo Costa and Marvin Vettori fight card. So that should be interesting. I hope Paulo Costa knocks Vettori's head off. And I don't even like Paulo Costa.
I mean, if it was a double KO, I wouldn't be upset.
Me either.
I'd be like, yeah, that was a cool one for the first time in the UFC.
Yeah. And then obviously we've got the UFC 268 coming up in November, in the beginning of November, which is Usman and Covington, Namajunas versus Weili Zhang, 2, Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler, and then the other fight on that card for the main card is Frankie Edgar versus Marlon Vera, which is going to be a good fight.
Yeah.
And another fight that got announced was they're trying to get, I think for UFC 269, they're trying to get the Leon Edwards versus Jorge Masvidal put on that December 11th card with Dustin Poirier versus Charles Oliveira. Yeah. And then that's the Amanda Nunes and Juliana Pena fight. Is
that fight needs to happen. So, yeah. I mean, I'm honestly, that fight doesn't do much for me, to be honest.
What, Leon Edwards and Jorge Masvidal?
Yeah. It doesn't, like, I'm not, even with all the drama behind it and the 3-piece and the soda and like all that shit, like something
Super
about
necessary.
something about this is, it just doesn't do it for me. I don't know what it is. I think it's because I was so like set on Nick and fucking Masvidal. I was like, that's what needs to happen. And then he fought Robbie instead. And then like I don't know. And then seeing Nate rock Leon and something tells me that I think it's gonna be a good fight. Don't get me wrong. I think it's gonna be a lot closer than Nate and Leon, but
yeah. I think Leon is gonna own this fight.
I mean, we'll see.
Jorge had his 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
And I think it's over.
I mean, I can see that too. I can see that happening.
And the thing is obviously Jorge is like, he's a fan favorite now.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like
millionaire.
Yeah, that's
Leon.
That's
and Leon. You're welcome.
Yeah. But I mean, what else? Like, say he loses to Leon, what is there for him to do?
Nothing,
what fight is there?
Nothing.
It's like, dude, go right off in the sunset and do your fight promotion, your bare knuckle, whatever the fuck. Or
that's the only thing that he's got, man. Like this, I think everything's riding on this fight for him.
Yeah,
because he's got to prove that he's still got it after that Kamaru fight.
After he got starched,
yeah,
which I did not see coming. By the way,
because if you lose this, you saying you're welcome for being the millionaire, that goes out the fucking window. Like nobody's gonna care. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna care about you fighting anymore. Like
no,
what, you got to fight Nate again? Like if you lose this, maybe Diaz is the fight to make, not Nate but Nick.
I know
they both lost. Maybe
but the thing is, I don't even think Nick wants to fight anymore. Like I really, so I don't think that's the fight.
You know what Nick wants to fight for? Fucking money. You know what fight is the only fight Masvidal has left that'll bring in money? Is
Conor
fucking
McGregor.
Well, either Conor McGregor or fucking Masvidal.
I'd love to see. At this point, I'd love to see Conor get baptized by Street Jesus.
Oh, it would happen.
Yeah.
It would.
He's
totally
way too big.
Happen.
He's way too big.
Yeah. I don't know. He's not
Connor's
even that
looking
big,
pretty big right now. Connor's looking pretty big right now.
Fucking Conor, man.
Doing coke and driving the streets of LA and Las Vegas and Miami.
That dude's. We've lost our Conor, man.
I know.
Our Connor's gone.
I know. Well, the thing is, there's a kid at my work that started strutting, and he's like, "I'm Conor McGregor," and I was like, "You want me to check one of your leg kicks, and I'll make you Conor McGregor?" And he was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Dude, you've been locked up too long. You don't even know what's going on." I was like, "You're behind on the times." I was like, "Conor doesn't even want to fight in like 2 years." So,
Cowboys your last win. That's not a good look.
That's no. What other fights? I mean, dude, it's been a couple weeks since we've done a podcast, so I don't even remember. I mean, the biggest one was
we talked about most of them.
Leon and Jorge was
we got Sean O'Malley versus Paiva. Paiva, whatever his name was. I don't know if we brought that up last time.
I'm going into our chat.
Oh yeah. I shared some stuff recently, so we should have something left in there.
No, we didn't fucking save anything.
Dude, my stuff should be there still.
No.
No, I didn't save shit.
No, we didn't fucking save it. God damn it. Okay. Oh, that's not good.
Well, Wilder and Fury was fucking dope,
dude. Oh yeah, we could definitely talk about that.
I don't have much to say on it, but like it was one of the fucking greatest heavyweights fights.
That was one of the greatest boxing fights I've ever seen. Dude, I honestly thought at one point I was like, well, this fight is over, and Wilder just won when he knocked him down twice in the third or fourth round.
I mean, but then Fury got knocked down 3 times and Wilder got knocked down 4. That's fucking insane.
And then I was like, dude, the longer this fight goes, because we were talking while we were watching the fight, and I was like, the longer this fight goes, it just favors Fury because we know that he's got the stamina for it. and he was leaning on Deontay, and
it was so smart.
Yeah,
he came in at like 277 or whatever the fuck he came in.
But Deontay came in at 233, which is probably the heaviest he's ever weighed.
So that's crazy.
For a fight.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just a really good, fun fight, and that's the type of fight that boxing needed. Like you needed a big heavyweight fight that was super exciting to draw eyes back to the sport of boxing, because boxing is it's just a dying sport.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all, and this is the one thing that I don't understand. Boxing is a dying sport. MMA is the fastest growing sport in the world, and boxers are still making tens of millions of dollars in comparison to MMA fighters, which are not.
Well, there's so many more MMA fighters in the UFC than there is on a fucking boxing card. You know what I mean? Or
no, I know.
The fuck there is.
I know.
So it's just at that level, and compared to that level, and then all the other shit, dude, like the sponsors they're allowed to fucking have, and the promotions and all this shit. It's all handled fucking different, you know?
I mean, speaking of sponsorships, Corey Anderson was talking about how like every paycheck that he's ever gotten since he started in the UFC is in, like, he still has it in an account, like in a bank account, because he pays all of his bills with sponsorship money.
Hell yeah.
So it's like
smart as fuck.
Yeah. It's like, dude, you know, if you're smart with your money and you make good investments and you're not buying stupid shit, then you'll be set for life.
And you live a comfortable lifestyle instead of trying to be Conor McGregor when you're fucking not making that much money. You know, don't go buying extravagant vehicles and crazy shit like that. Like, just live comfortable, pay your fucking bills, live in a nice house, do all this shit, train your fucking ass off, be a professional. And I bet he's got a couple $100,000 in the fucking bank right now, just chilling.
The thing that sucks though is there's no retirement in MMA. So
yeah, that sucks.
So you can put all that money away.
But you can't tell me that, like, he can, every one of these guys that have been somewhere or a contender or anything like that, start a fucking gym.
Yeah.
It's that easy. You know, start a fucking gym.
The thing is like, I mean, Josh Thompson has a gym, the Punk, and then Big John McCarthy did have a gym, and Big John McCarthy said the worst thing he ever did was open a gym. Because there's so much
somebody that doesn't give a fuck, though, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to have a crazy gym, have it like a local fucking weightlifting gym, have memberships and then training on the side or whatever, and it'll fucking pay for itself. Like,
I think he was talking.
It doesn't always have to be.
I think he was talking
gym,
about like an MMA gym.
I know, but like, it doesn't have to be strictly MMA. You're canceling 90% of the audience.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, just open up a weightlifting gym and some fucking MMA on the side. Get a bigger room or something for that shit, and then. I mean, a regular gym with your memberships of people that live down the fucking road is going to pay for that, you know? Like, I don't know. It's. I just think that people want to do things different, and if they got the money to invest it in open business like that, it'd be smart as shit, in my opinion. But
for sure.
Another thing that happened, the last subject or whatever, I guess, if you're down to go or whatever, I was just going to bring up the John Jones being
John Jones
barred. Yeah, but he was barred from Jackson Wink. MMA
well, he
for now.
Yeah, he's not barred. He's suspended from the gym.
Yeah,
and it's like, honestly, I think it's like the biggest bullshit ploy. Fucking, like, I don't like Jackson Wink.
Hey.
Fucking dogs, dude. She sees herself in the reflection. So I don't like Jackson Wink. Like, I never have, I never will. I think they're scumbag coaches. Like, I really do. And
I think that this is a PR move.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And the moment that John Jones is okayed, he'll be like,
come on back. Yep. Coming back,
he'll be allowed back, right?
Because
this is just for him to look good against the public and be like, "Hey, like, oh no, man."
No, we're holding them accountable.
We're holding them accountable for that shit. And the moment they're like, all right, dude, he's cleared. Let's get this fucking fight camp going and all that shit. They're like, all right, you know, he's changed his life, and
he generates more income than anybody else.
He's reached out for help, and you know, like, he's he's in rehab or he's fucking, he's welcome back anytime and all that. Yeah. Like it'll just move right back to that.
Because John posted just had one of the toughest conversations. Yeah, hardest. I cried and all this other shit. It's
and thanks to my other coaches who still support me. So there's people there that support him, but the one guy doesn't and says he's not allowed, which means that eventually this is just to look good until he's okay, and then they bring him back. That's all that is.
I don't like it. I don't like that team. I don't like look what they did to Donald Cerrone.
Yeah.
I don't like I just think it's shady business. And there was another reason why George St. Pierre stopped going there. There must have been something.
Yeah.
Because he was with Greg Jackson. He would spend time and obviously with TriStar and Albuquerque. So
what this might be fun. If John Jones is legit banned from that place, where do you think he could go? I don't think anybody else will take his ass.
American Kickboxing Academy. No, I'm just kidding.
AKA?
Fuck no. They'd all fucking riot.
I don't know where the fuck
challenge.
Yeah. I don't know where he could go, dude.
American Top Team.
Yeah.
Why not? That's where all the dirtbags that aren't accepted somewhere else will go to American Top Team. Look at how many.
I don't think it'd be good for his career though. I just don't know what would a place that could better him and get more experience that would actually accept him.
I want to clarify one thing.
I think Harold Frost, the hobby, would be fucking nasty, but that will never happen.
No.
With his mind and John Jones' ability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Holy shit. Yeah. I'm just saying, I think that'd be the worst, the most deadly combo in MMA, though. That dude's mind with his abilities would be insane.
I want to clarify one thing real quick. I said that dirtbags at American Top Team. Yeah. I was specifically meaning Greg Hardy. I want to clarify that because if I were a gym, I would not let Greg Hardy into my gym based on his past. Obviously everybody needs to move on and everybody should get second chances, but sorry, you need to find your second chance elsewhere, not here.
Yeah.
That was specifically what I was talking about, because not anybody else, at least nobody that I can really think of.
I can't speak for everybody, but I understood.
Yeah. So,
that's it for me.
I really don't have it. I don't have anything else in terms of stuff to talk about. Just because so much else that happens,
we could do it on a recap or something like that, like any of the fights that we missed or anything.
Yeah. If there's anything that you guys want to talk about or want us to talk about, just comment in the comment section below. Other than that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check us out on Facebook. It's Lay and Pray MMA Podcast on Facebook. Same thing as our YouTube channel and our podcast channel. And you can find us in all different podcast platforms. The big ones obviously are Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast. I'm trying to think. There's a couple other different ones, but other than that, I got nothing else, buddy.
I think I'm good too.
All right, man. Well, take it easy. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll catch you on the next one.
All right, man.
All right, talk to you later, buddy.
Later.
Bye.